according to Mum. They're still out around Emerald, Fossicking and the Gemfields. Ah, retirement is a wonderful thing. I'll get there one day. Won't be long before Larry and me'll be heading down that track too. You won't see us for the dust. Lois picked up the 3 empty cups that Matt had left on the console during his watch. I was surprised that your dad pulled the pin when he did, although I do love having a lady skipper. You keep the wheelhouse clean and tidy, just like it should be. As much as I loved your father as skipper, it was always a pigsty up here. It's a wonder he could ever find anything. She climbed up on the second chair beside Bethany. You want a bicky? No, thanks. Lois looked at her long and hard. You've barely eaten on this trip. You okay? Bethany nodded. I'm fine. Just a bit on my mind. Ronnie Riley's still giving you a hard time. Lois picked up her coffee. I can handle him. Not much gets past you, does it? The older woman's eyes narrowed. Don't you worry. I've heard him winding you up, and more than once. A drunk and a sexist pig. Lois leaned back against the console. You need to get your father or those brothers of yours to sort him out. I can look after myself. Bethany softened her words with a smile. That would just add to Ronnie's opinion that a woman shouldn't be skippering a vessel. He's a drunk. No one pays him any attention, and I can ignore him. I handled the old salts up in the Gulf. They were disgusted when I arrived. They weren't expecting a woman captain. Well, fair enough, so long as you know what you're doing, love. Riley's smart remarks to me aren't a problem, but if I hear he's bad-mouthed Stella again, I'll deal with him, and fast. Bethany leaned forward and looked at the screen. Almost home. Draining her coffee, she put her mug on the tray. Thanks. That'll keep me going until we get unloaded and cleaned up. And then you'll turn around and do it all again in a couple of days. I will, but hey, look at the great job I've got, and I'm really pleased we have back-to-back charters this week. And I'm pleased you don't let any bloke tell you that you're not good at it. I know how proud your dad is. Lois held up the biscuits. Can't tempt you with a Tim Tam? Just one? Bethany waved her away with a laugh. Get out of here. I've got a vessel to berth. Lois picked up the tray. Bethany smiled as the packet of chocolate biscuits was left on the console between the GPS and the radar screen. And then Lois left with a laugh over her shoulder. And I've got 16 beds to strip and cabins to clean. All was quiet as Bethany brought Stella into the marina. She looked across at the western shore. High-rise buildings, hotels and restaurants were surrounded by parkland. Then there was Gramps' house with its beautiful gardens and old trees. Over the years, the old family home had become as much of a tourist attraction as the high sea wall. Bethany smiled at the small house, sitting incongruously in the middle of the developed strip. No matter what the developers had offered, and in the end it had been an incredible amount of money, her grandfather had dug his heels in and refused to budge. My father built this house and I'm not selling. The only way you'll get me out is to carry me out in a box. I'll chain myself to any bulldozer that comes within coo-wee of my house. Gramps had ignored the offers of developers and the pressure from the harbour board, and the development had continued around him. Now the house was squeezed between 2 apartment blocks. Bloody things keep the sun off my tomatoes, he muttered every winter. Gramps and Gran had moved out to the farm for a few months in 1998 when the sea wall was being built to cater for the 6-metre tidal range, but he went to the harbour every day to make sure it wasn't a trick to get him out. He was a gruff old bugger, but Bethany loved him to bits. She and her brothers had grown up on the cane farm out at Eaton, but they'd attended the Catholic school in town.